Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Oliver. Thank you to all the members, honorable members of this committee, for considering our testimony today on HB 1393, legislation that would legalize access to marijuana by seriously ill Pennsylvania residents. My name is Goldstein. I'm a public radio broadcaster, I'm a writer, I'm a marijuana advocate. I'm a volunteer on the board of directors for Pennsylvanians for Medical Marijuana and PhillyNORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws Philadelphia chapter. It is a privilege and an honor for me today to be here to help represent the existing medical marijuana consumers in the underground market of Pennsylvania, as well as the medical professionals who wish to recommend this therapy to other Pennsylvania residents in the future. We're here today to share information about a topic that has seen a decided shift in 2009. You can't turn on the news without seeing something about medical marijuana. 13 states offer legal cannabis access programs. Hundreds of thousands of Americans find relief every single day under these programs. And you may hear a lot about California, but what you don't hear are the quiet programs out there, the ones that are working every single day to bring relief to seriously ill residents around this country. We don't come here today alone. Mr. Baker mentioned the Department of Justice. On October 19th, the Department of Justice issued a memo, which is included in my written testimony here today, to all the U.S. attorneys, targeting the 14 states that have medical marijuana legislation, asking those attorneys to reevaluate their resources and not use federal resources to prosecute state-authorized medical marijuana patients and providers. So the inference that there will be some conflict with federal law has been erased this year with that memo. It's the first time the White House has recognized the states' rights of these medical marijuana patients. Also, just a few weeks ago, the American Medical Association had a new science report that recommended that marijuana be reevaluated in its Schedule I status. It would remove marijuana from Schedule I. It also claimed that there are many medical benefits to marijuana, and again, asked for additional research. Our neighbors in New Jersey are considering cannabis legislation as well. A medical marijuana bill should be heard by the legislature there right now in December. We come here before this committee today with a tremendous amount of public support. Over 70% of Pennsylvania residents have polled in favor of medical marijuana. 47 written testimonies have been submitted to this committee today. We have had editorial endorsements from the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Pocono Record, the Daily Record of Towanda. We're here today with comments and recommendations from the AIDS Law Project of Pennsylvania, from the Philadelphia National Lawyers Guild chapter, from the ACLU of Pennsylvania. And while it may seem a noble legislative exercise to reconsider the entire issue of medical marijuana from the get-go, the honorable members of this committee do not have to explore this issue in a vacuum. Although this is the very first time here that this legislature has to consider medical marijuana legislation. Again, 13 states have programs, dozens of states have considered this, and there is federal legislation right now, sponsored by Congressman Ron Paul and Barney Frank, the Medical Marijuana Patient Protection Act, which would remove marijuana from Schedule I in the Controlled Substances Act. There are federal legislators making sure that the rights of patients in the states that offer medical marijuana programs are being protected. So this legislature can consider this, knowing that the federal government is also working forward on this issue as well. Marijuana is non-toxic. It is non-lethal. It has been rigorously researched. Marijuana is medicine by any standard and is used by medicine above ground and underground by many Americans today. The most detrimental side effect of marijuana is running afoul of prohibition laws. This bill is called the Compassionate Use Act for a reason. We want to stop arresting patients for choosing a medical therapy that works. If you're wondering if that happens, this is John Wilson. He's from New Jersey. John's facing 15 years minimum in state prison there. He's found growing 17 marijuana plants. He's being prosecuted under the first-degree felony operating a drug manufacturing facility. A judge, Judge Reed, because of the legislation moving forward in New Jersey, has ruled from the bench that John cannot tell the jury that he has MS. If you're wondering if people get prosecuted for this, people do. And if their medical use comes up in trial, it does. This legislation, at its core, while it has many benefits for the state, is about protecting patients and stopping their arrest.